Hey folks, welcome to episode 14 of the Marcus Smart. I'm a bit low energy today because if you've watched this show, you've heard me say I will not reshoot an episode. I don't care how bad it goes. My one yesterday, I thought particularly kind of started breaking down. But today, unfortunately, I recorded this entire episode 14, with the wrong camera on, with my rear-facing camera on my cell phone, recording the other way instead of recording facing me. So we got a podcast of me talking in the background and a picture of a blank wall. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to break my rule here, and this is going to be episode 14, take 2. All right. Well, at least we got a decent episode of Raw for me to sit here and yabber on again about for the second time in a row. Because this was a pretty decent episode of Raw. This is our go home Raw before we get to Battleground. And this is our go home Raw before we get to the draft. So not sure how much Battleground building we're going to get tonight on SmackDown Live on the draft. So this could be the majority of our kind of go home building to Battleground, which if it is, that's a good. They've done really good today. So let's just start off and jump in with things that are walking the line for me that are like, not so great. We get Alberto Del Rio versus Darren Young. Now, I've been really hot on Darren Young and Bob Backlund and everything that's going on with them. I think they're funny. They got great chemistry. But Alberto Del Rio, for me, is on another level than Darren Young. Like, Darren Young's getting to that U.S. title, IC title level, where for me, Alberto Del Rio, he's already proved himself at that level. He's been a champion in WWE. He's been just a phenomenal heel in Lucha Underground as Alberto Del Patron. And we really should see this dude excel in WWE. We get Miz and Maurice on commentary. Of course, we're building towards Battleground with him and Darren Young. Miz ends up interfering in the match. It actually ends up backfiring and costing Alberto Del Rio the match when Young beats him with a roll-up. I don't like this. I don't like any insinuation that Darren Young should be able to pin Alberto Del Rio. I don't even care if there's interference. Man, we need good heels in WWE. We're splitting into two different brands. There's going to have to be heels on two different brands now. Alberto Del Rio is a top tier heel. What's up with that? What is up with that? So I was not happy with that. Did not like that at all. From there we get Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. This is a repeat of a match we saw on Main Event or Superstars. I can't remember which one, a couple weeks ago. And I talked about on this show, and I said, Baron Corbin did what he had to do, which was hit the end of days and win the match. But Sin Cara controlled this match, and Sin Cara looked fabulous during this match. And at the time, I speculated it was probably leading up to Kalisto and Sin Cara splitting. Now, we found out yesterday, and if you follow the Marcus Smart Facebook page, you will have noticed that I shared this. They went on Facebook Live, Kalisto and Sin Cara, and announced they won't be going into the draft as a team. They'll be going into the draft as a singles competitor. So you heard it here on this show. I've been saying it for weeks. There's no way, since they announced this draft, I've been saying there's no way this team's staying together. They're getting split up in the draft. The reason why I didn't think it would happen this way. I thought it was going to be a surprise on the draft. But the reason why they did it on Facebook Live actually makes a lot of sense. Because teams in the draft can be chosen with just one draft pick. You can take two people with one draft pick. So for a general manager to split up Sin Cara and Kalisto, what they would actually have to do is choose Kalisto, and by doing that, basically say, I would rather have, for this one draft pick, only Kalisto, than using this one draft pick to get Kalisto and Sin Cara basically for free. Like, Sin Cara is a detriment. Like, if he came onto my show, I would not be happy. I literally just want Kalisto, and no, I think that having Sin Cara would be bad for my show. It would be extremely insulting to see that happen. So I think that's why they went on to Facebook and did it this way and declared that they're going to enter the draft as singles competitors, but that they're going to maintain their friendship. So anyways, we get Corbin and Sin Cara. Given all that context, given how good Sin Cara's performed against him on the B show or the C show, given like that they just announced this day, like just earlier in the day, that they're going to go in as singles competitors into the draft, and then we just get Corbin burying Sin Cara, just murdering him. Sin Cara does not come off looking good. He gives him the end of days. He beats him down after. Then Kalisto comes out to save Sin Cara, which is really pushing Kalisto up. We can see where he's going to go. But then he gets a beatdown from Corbin. Mind you, this all makes Corbin look great going into the draft. But what does this do for Sin Cara and Kalisto, who we've been building this split, and we've been building Kalisto as a singles competitor for literally months now. Months. And we take all that work and we just let it get beat down by Baron Corbin, who, that's fine. Nothing wrong with Baron Corbin. He's supposed to be beating down people. This is what he's supposed to be doing. Eventually, he's going to have to get into a program with someone, a feud that actually goes somewhere, better than the Ziggler feud. Oof, Ziggler, Corbin. No. Corbin needs a good feud. But this, maybe like a Kalisto Corbin feud, like the little guy, maybe that's what they're going with. I don't know. Hey, maybe if it turns into that, then I'm wrong, and this is a fine storyline. But if not, and this is just a total beatdown of Kalisto and Sin Cara right before the draft, right after they announce that they're going to be singles competitors, I don't think that works. So we'll have to see how this develops. But for me, that's why it's walking the line. Speaking about Ziggler and terrible feuds, here we get a match full of more poop than you can shake a stick at. We got Rusev teaming with Sheamus. Just pure poop, right? Like, this didn't work at all. We had these guys teaming together earlier in the year as some sort of team against Neville. Poop. Just poop. Never developed into anything. Then they added in two other guys, Barrett and Del Rio, and formed the League of Nations. Poop. Didn't work. Just total poop. We had Rusev facing Ziggler like about a year ago in a feud. Poop. Didn't work. Just terrible poop. You know, we've taken all of this poop and put it together and said, okay, Zack Ryder, we're going to throw you in there and you make this all better. No, that's not going to happen. Zack Ryder can't make this fresh. This is tired booking. Boring booking. Seriously. I can't see any more combinations of this, like Rusev, Sheamus, Ziggler, blah. Done. Dolph ends up tapping to the Accolade. There you go. Doesn't matter. Ziggler didn't. That makes sense. Not Ziggler. Ryder didn't. And that makes sense because Ryder's going to go on to face Rusev at Battleground. And you don't want him tapping to the Accolade. Same week he's going to face him. Fine. But for me, just a big ball of poop. That's what that was. From there we get Sasha Banks enlisting the help of Becky Lynch to take on Charlotte and Dana Brooke in a tag team match. This is good. I like this booking. So this is moving on to from my walking the line to more stuff that I'm good with. This isn't like, holy crap, I'm good with this, but I'm good with this. I like this booking. So we get, we know Becky Lynch can't be at Battleground helping out Sasha Banks because she's got her match with Natalya. So this gives a chance for Sasha Banks to interact with Charlotte and Dana again before Battleground in a tag team match, which is how she'll be facing them at Battleground. And Becky Lynch taking the place of the mystery partner, which we know it won't be Becky Lynch because of her feud with Natalya. And then Natalya ends up doing the run-in. This whole match was just a schmoz anyways, and she beats down Becky Lynch, which builds the Natalya-Becky Lynch storyline. So we're building all of our storylines nicely here. Dana and Charlotte end up beating down the boss in the ring, so we're building that storyline. Is my hair done? Oh, man. All right. I think it's okay. I'm starting to fall apart here on my second run through of this, but we're like, stick with me. We'll get through it. Anyways, so we get all that happening. Dana beating down the boss, Natalya beating down. The reason I really like the way they've worked Natalya and Becky Lynch is they've used beatdowns so much, like on entranceways, on commentary, in the middle of a match, that we haven't seen a lot of Natalya, Becky Lynch in the ring facing each other, not in like some sort of weird tag team or then you face this guy, you know, where Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, or not Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, but the tag team match. When we get to that tag team match at Battleground, we'll have seen some of this before. The mystery partner will definitely make it fresh. Where I really feel when we get to Battleground, Becky Lynch and Natalya, I feel like we haven't really seen them in the ring too much. They've been able to keep them out of the ring while building towards Battleground. I think there's going to be a great match. It's going to be fresh. I love the way they've booked it. It's not getting tired at all because we haven't actually seen it happen in the ring. Really good. I like this. This is good. So, from there, we're going to actually go to the beginning of Raw. So, how did Raw start? We started with Steph in the ring, cutting a promo, Shane interrupting her. We're going to find out about our GMs finally. But before that, Steph has like, boof! That's my mind exploding because Steph has a huge announcement to make as a Raw exclusive, so it won't be on SmackDown, but because of the response to the Cruiserweight Classic, Raw is going to get its own Cruiserweight division. Amazing. So happy that the Cruiserweights are coming back. You know, I feel like SmackDown as like the alternate brand is the more appropriate home for it, but with only 2 hours to work with, it doesn't make sense. It's got to be on Raw. If they're going to add another division, it's going to have to be on Raw because they got the 3 hours to work with. But yeah, I think that's excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm so happy that's coming back. Anyways, skip ahead to our GMs. We get the GM of Raw announced. Mick Foley is going to be the GM of Raw. I love this. I love Mick Foley. Obviously, my number one favorite wrestler. I don't know if you guys know this. Huge Mick Foley mark, and why shouldn't I be? The man has risked his life countless times for my entertainment. So, always love Mick Foley. Great to see him back as the GM. I have heard him in interviews talk about how he doesn't like scripted lines so much, and he always tells a story where he forgets one of the lines and the ref or the commentator has to remind him, and the line he forgot was the cheap pop. Like, it's great to be back in Baltimore, Maryland. And Foley obviously is forgetting lines all over the place. Twice Steph has to be like, hey, Mick, Mick, say this, and tell Mick. And Mick literally on camera is like, oh yeah. And then starts to say it. Which to me is not bad. Like, to me, it just kind of like warms my heart a little bit. Like, I see that and I know the backstory. Like, I've heard Mick talk about this stuff. And to me, you know, some people might be like, oh, what a botch or whatever. But I liked it. I thought it was cute. And he had to be told, Mick, don't forget to say this. Oh yeah. And then I was going to say this. Anyways, great that Mick is the GM of Raw, and the reason is we had to have a face GM to Raw. This was very, very smart, because if we set up Raw as the heel show with Steph as the helm, and we set up SmackDown as the face show with Shane at the helm, we're telling fans, like, vote for Shane. Watch SmackDown and don't watch Raw because you want Shane to win. He's the face. Which could be very bad for WWE. You can pull off the heel management thing as long as you have a really, really powerful face. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon, right? That was money. That was going to draw viewership. I don't think we have anybody who can combat Steph on that level of a face who's actually like a worker right now in the ring. Maybe like Ambrose Steph could do something, but I don't know if that's the way they want to go at all. This is a much simpler solution, a much more elegant solution. Put a layer of management between the heel staff and the fans, right? And that layer is Mick Foley, hugely adored by fans, WWE legend, right? So now we all feel good watching Raw, because I'm a Foley mark. I'm going to watch Raw to see him. I want his show to do good. So it's already changed my opinion. I was going to watch Raw anyways. I understand that Steph is just a storyline, but not all wrestling fans do. And so it could have been detrimental, but they did the switch, and I like that. Daniel Bryan, as a lot of us have known, I think I've talked about on this show, maybe I talked about it like this. I can't remember. Maybe I did a spoiler. But Daniel Bryan is announced as the GM of SmackDown Live. Huge pop from the audience. You get huge yes chants, huge Daniel Bryan chants, huge thank you Daniel chants. Just the fans are going nuts. They love Daniel Bryan. Love him. This dude is the most over dude in WWE right now. I would love to see like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan in the middle of a WWE ring and pandering to the crowd and saying who can get like the most love, because those two guys are over like hell in WWE, which is crazy because neither of them wrestle in a WWE ring anymore. But yeah, after that, it just kind of breaks up, whatever. That's the end of the in-ring. We get some backstage segments between Daniel Bryan and Steph, like they don't like each other anymore. We get Mick and Shane backstage. Shane warning Mick that Steph is just trying to use him, and Mick tells Shane off, basically like, I'm a smart person. Don't tell me what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And then we end up with a Mick and Daniel backstage segment, Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. This is the most important one because this sets up our two faces as rivals without making either of them the heel. That they both agree to produce great shows, and they're gonna face each other, and they're gonna be competition. And they're gonna go after one another, but they both maintain their kind of like face-ness. Neither of them turns heel, and that's like the most important thing setting up Raw, is that we have two face presences, Raw and SmackDown, going against each other, so that we have no problem watching either show if we're a crazy person who doesn't understand that this is just storylines. Sorry, I'm dying. You know what? This is what happens when we do, I was going to say tape back-to-back shows, but I'm not actually taping back-to-back shows because I'm just recording the same damn show twice. But still, water time. I hope I got off camera for that. I don't know. Or you're just seeing me drink water. Anyways. Sorry. Needed to take that time. Next match. We're on to things. Well, you know, I love that segment. So we were already on to things I love. But we're really on to things I love about Raw. And these next three matches are not just storylines I love about Raw, but matches that made Raw worth watching. So if you didn't watch Raw, there was a lot of great things that happened, but these three matches, the next ones I'm going to talk about, these made Raw worth watching. Sami Zayn and Cesaro versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. What an amazing match. I'm not always like hyped on Jericho, but I heard Jericho talking in an interview, and he said, I feel like I'm the best I've been in a long time. I think he said since 2008 he's at his peak. And man, he showed and proved in this match, man. This was an amazing match. He kept up with all of these guys. Ends up Zayn winning by small package. We're building towards Battleground, but just an excellent match. I don't think I've complained about a Cesaro match in a long time. Any of these guys, man, they're just so good. So good. Love all of this. This was great. After that, we get a big 12-man. I don't even have hands to do it. 12-man tag. Wow. This is like, we need to build a Battleground, and we need to build a whole bunch of stuff, and we need to build it all in one match. So we get Cena, Enzo, Cass, and the New Day taking on Wyatt's and the Club. And this starts off as just a promo fest. We get John Cena coming out, cutting a promo, and I'm usually a fan of John Cena promos, but his was actually the most lackluster of all the promos. Not that it was bad, but man, the promos that followed, it just was... it was just too good. So we get Cena coming out to a promo. We get Enzo who comes out and just cuts an awesome promo on the Club. Just fantastic, searing promo. I loved it. Then we get AJ and the Club coming out. They cut a promo. These guys have been funny for a long time. These guys are cutting awesome promos. Then we get the New Day coming out. We all know how much we love the New Day. They cut a promo. I'm just telling you, like, it was just like boom, boom, boom. I was just sitting back in promo heaven. If you don't like promos, if you don't like mic work, maybe this isn't the match for you. I adore mic work. And this was just heaven. This was seeing like the top talent in the industry today, like all in one spot, just cutting promo after promo. It was awesome. And then they went on and turned this promo fest into a total spot fest. This match was full of action. It was just like near the end, it was just like chain finishers. This reminded me like of an X Division Suicide 6 match from like TNA circa like 2003, 2004, something like that. I don't expect to see it with like Braun Strowman and John Cena and these type of guys, but absolute like just finishers, just boom, boom, boom. One guy in the ring hits him, he rolls out, next guy hits him, he rolls out, next guy, boom, boom. Excellent match. I can't say enough about this match. So good. With 12 men in the ring, there is so many ways this match could go wrong. This could just be a total crap fest. And instead, it was just an amazing match. Enzo ends up bumping into Cena. So to be like, oh, there's some contention there. They're not getting along going into, causing some doubts going into Battleground. This allows AJ to hit the Clash for the win. Just great match. Smart booking. Good building to Battleground. How can you say anything bad about this? The talent involved in this match, the mic work, the in-ring work, just loved all of it. Great stuff. After that, we're building toward, we got one more match left, the Ambrose Rollins match. Before that though, kind of mixed in with the show, we get Rollins doing an empty arena promo, talking about Reigns and obviously talking about Ambrose. It was interesting. It was interesting to do this rather than just coming down to the ring and cutting another promo. This was a promo-heavy episode of Raw, so this was a really interesting way to do it. The only thing I would say is I'm kind of interested in some of the things he said and how the crowd would react to some of the things he was saying about Roman Reigns, because I don't know if he would have been able to go over as a heel, because I think the fans would have supported him on a lot of the Roman Reigns stuff. So, and it's interesting, is Roman Reigns even face anymore? Because on Raw, JBL picked Roman Reigns as his person that he thinks is going to win Battleground. So you got the heel commentator choosing Roman Reigns as his pick for Battleground. That doesn't make sense for your big-time babyface heel to be chosen by your big-time babyface to be chosen by your heel announcer as his pick to win. Something's up there. Something's up. We may finally see the Roman Reigns heel turn. It may have already happened and we didn't even know because he was just sitting at home. So, anyways, then we get an Ambrose video promo, similar to giving Rollins his own kind of chance. There was some filter on it, like kind of close up, looks, maybe like handheld, kind of trying to make it look. Yeah, it was okay. I like that they're doing something different. Again, it's different than just the in-ring promos. The match itself, just a hell of a match. These two guys just put on a fantastic match. I can't wait to see the triple threat at Battleground. It's going to be great. I think Battleground as a pay-per-view is just going to be great. We're going to have a preview show coming up later this week where I'll talk about it more. But I think this is going to be a really interesting pay-per-view. And then after this amazing match, we just get this absolute horrible schmoz of a finish. I know this isn't my stuff I love about Raw. And I absolutely just hated this finish. Hated this finish. But the reason why it's in stuff I loved about Raw is because these two workers, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, don't deserve for me to say I hate this match, because this match was a great match. I liked this match. It's not their fault of the schmozzy finish. So, if I can, because last time I recorded this, I could barely even speak through this section because it just infuriates me and it boggles my mind when things like this happen. But we get a ref bump. We get a superplex off the top rope. Ref comes in, counts 3. Appears as if both men have their shoulders to the mat for the 3 count. So we're not sure what happened. We've seen similar things in NXT a while back with like Balor Joe, or I forget who it was, if it was Balor Joe or whatever. Balor Zayn, or Joe Zayn, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe for who's going to face for the title or whatever. We saw similar things to this. I don't like these things at all, but whatever. It is what it is. Except they took it to the next level. So after dumb stuff like this happens, usually the referee is like, oh, there's confusion, I don't know, we have to watch replays, I'm not sure what to do, he was down, and I don't know. We didn't get that. We got the referee sitting in the corner, winded from the ref bump, and had the wind knocked out of him and not able to talk. for a very, very long period of time, for like minutes. And people are wandering around. Lillian Garcia doesn't know what to do. Everybody's wandering around the ring. People are checking on the referee. Nobody knows who's won. Finally, Steph takes the mic from Lillian Garcia, announces Rollins has won. People are saying, we're not sure. We don't think Rollins has won. She grabs the belt. She grabs Rollins. They leave the ring. We see Shane still like saying, no, the referee's not sure. And then we go off the air with that. And Michael Cole saying, did we see a new champion tonight? That's how we went off the air. Did we see a new champion tonight? We haven't even, honestly, we didn't even get to the point where the referee could establish the controversy. For all I know, Rollins did win. Who knows? Because the ref didn't make any indication. Like, when they announced Rollins as a champion, I know you're winded, dude, but just say, like, no. Or, like, no. Or, like, point. Like, Ambrose, champion. Ambrose, winner. Not Rollins, anything. Charades. Like, honestly, did you not play charades as a kid? Like, this is an elephant. A kitty cat. A dog. It's called charades. Like, seriously, are you kidding me? I don't even understand. Point. Do something. Get up. Make some motion. Shake your head. Yes and no. Do anything. Ugh. Seriously, the hair, at the end of every episode, the hair didn't last. The hair did not last. I've done something terrible. You made me mad. See what happened? I got mad. Fantastic match, though. If you like good wrestling, there's some great matches in here. If you like great mic work, there's great mic work on this episode. I still have no idea what's going on with the hair. But anyways, did we see a new champion on Raw? Did we? WWE doesn't even know. How the hell would I know? All right, moving on. Big ups, big downs. Big ups and big downs. I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. No big ups today. Just big downs. This is a new episode, our new segment called Just Big Downs. Earlier tonight, big down. So this happens a lot on Raw. I haven't talked about it on this show, but earlier tonight, when we go back and we watch the things that we just watched like an hour ago, just drives me crazy. I just find WWE is already an exercise in patience for me with the repetition. Like, I watch it happen on Raw. I watch it happen again later on Raw when they show it to me on an earlier tonight segment. I watch it on SmackDown when they show it to me. I'm a sucker, and sometimes I watch main event Superstars. They show it to me again there. Then I go and watch the pay-per-view. They show it to me on the pre-show because I watch the pre-show to see the pre-show matches. And then like 15 minutes after the pre-show, I watch it again during the main show. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, seriously, how many times can I watch the same stuff over again? I really hope SmackDown Live just at least removes one of those puzzle pieces, one of those steps. So I don't have to watch all of it over again on SmackDown Live. Anyways, moving on. Orton video package for SummerSlam. Big down! So this is a huge big down for me. Not that I got a problem with SummerSlam, not that I got a problem with Orton. But I got a problem with WWE still promoting this match with Brock Lesnar after Brock Lesnar failed anti-doping tests in UFC. And their response to this was the response of a 6-year-old child. When they were questioned, they said, Brock Lesnar hasn't worked for us since March, and he's not scheduled to come back until SummerSlam. Well, I don't know what happened in between then. Come on, WWE. Come on. That is not a legitimate response. If Brock Lesnar in between March and SummerSlam sat at home shoving Twinkies in his face and came back a 400-pound rotund beast out of shape, not able to work a match, you would say, hey, what happened between March and August? Because obviously that was very important, because this man does not just walk in at SummerSlam and wrestle. He has to be in shape to wrestle. Just like when he trains for the UFC, it's not one fight. He trains for the UFC. That's why they do doping tests all through his training. Well, guess what? Part of that training is him maintaining his physique and his physical ability so that he can come work for you at SummerSlam. You don't get to disconnect from that and say what happened in between there doesn't matter, because obviously it does. if he was in a car accident and couldn't walk, guess what? That would affect SummerSlam. So if he's doping during that same period, that affects SummerSlam. It's disingenuous for you to say, we don't know what happened in that period of time, especially when he's working for a UFC, a company that you are now more closely working with than ever before. You promoted their event. They promoted your event. You shared Brock Lesnar. There's obviously some communication between your two companies. Totally disingenuous on WWE's part. I feel like it's totally unfair to Roman Reigns. Not that I'm a big defender of Roman Reigns, but, you got to be fair. We've just had Adam Rose, Roman Reigns, one of the members of the Ascension. We've just had all these wellness policy violations, right? And all these suspensions. And now you're going to act like, I don't know what happened with Roman Reigns. He wasn't working for us. Ridiculous. He's still under contract. Come on, WWE. Don't even try. Don't even give me this nonsense. Not happy. I'm a Lesnar fan. I hope this works out. I hope they test a second sample and everything's fine, and that was just like a goof or a glitch or something. But you know what? I've watched these scandals go down before, and that's never how they end. So, anyways. Last but not least, Cena SB package. Thumbs down! So, first off, I don't care about the SBs, and I don't care how Cena did hosting the SBs. I'm only commenting on this because WWE made me watch this package. I heard that the ratings were down for the SBs from last year. I don't know. TV ratings could be down everywhere. I don't know how, I don't watch TV normally anymore, so I assume a lot of people don't either. But anyways, WWE hyped this and hyped how good he did and gave us a video package to explain how good Cena did. The only problem is the video package only had comments from people before they saw Cena do it. It was all red carpet footage of what Cena was going to do or what they thought Cena was going to do. Nobody making comments about how Cena did. So this doesn't make sense to me because if Vanity Fair or Forbes or Sports Illustrated or anybody wrote anything about Cena doing a good job at the ESPYs, it would be plastered all over a WWE screen, just like they've put up all the mainstream articles about the brand extension and the draft and everything. So this is a little bit fishy to me that they tell us how good Cena does, but then they only give us clips of people talking about how good they think Cena's going to do, but none of them have actually seen it yet. So big down for that. That was just like big down. I didn't see it. I don't know if his performance is a big down, but the way it was sold to me by WWE, big down. That is it. Oh my gosh. That is my second time recording this show. I hope to goodness it worked this time. I want to give a big shout out to my second subscriber from Turkey, whoever you are. Woo! 2 subscribers and 1 international. Big shout out to Turkey. Hope things are going there well for you. I don't know everything about the politics there, but I had some friends there, and I know it's not so great with your president over there and the protests and now the coup, and things aren't going so great in Turkey. But hang in there. Hope you're enjoying the channel, and you can follow me on Facebook at the Marcus Smart, my Facebook page. I post some interesting stuff there from time to time, and you can follow me on Twitter at Marcus Smart. Or if you have any questions or comments, you can email me, marcussmart@thedunstalls.com. That's it. That's the whole thing. I can't wait to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be SmackDown Live. We're going to see the draft. There's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about. And this is going to be it. This is going to shape what we're going to see for the next year or so in WWE. Let's see how it's going to go. See you tomorrow. Ciao.